What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, January 5th. It is a new year, new you. I hate that saying. I don't know why I just said that, but hey, happy new year. It's good to be out of 2020. That was an interesting year. I think for people, it was a tough year, just with everything that was going on. So good to see you, Jim, Scott, Albert, what's going on? Olivia, Erica, Chris, who else is on here? Lots of people. All right, cool. Good to see all you guys on here. Welcome in. If you're newer to our community, thanks for tuning in. We're pumped that you're here, pumped that you made it to us live. We do these every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So do your calculations. For some people, that's like in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. For some people, it's at 7 p.m. and they just finished eating and they're kind of chilling out for the night. But for us, where I'm at, it's Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm 8 a.m. Eastern or 8 a.m. Mountain time. And the sun is barely up. So I got up early this morning. Fun little side note for you guys. And then I'll introduce our guest. I got up early this morning. I bought one of those virtual reality headsets, which I said I would never do. I'm not a gamer, and I religiously don't buy gaming consoles or anything like that, but I bought one because I have a friend of mine who he does like boxing and table tennis and these different, kind of sporting things for his cardio in the morning to get, exercise. So, hey, I was up at 6 a.m. Got some good table tennis matches in with people from all over the world, did a little boxing, got a knockout in the third round. So it was a good morning. I felt nice and energized and got the blood flowing a little bit. So it was good. But enough about me. We've got an awesome guest lined up today. I'm excited to hear his story. A story similar to other affiliates in the affiliate marketing space that we've seen come through with successful previous businesses and then sort of flip that or pivot, I think is probably the right word, into a different business model. So this is a chance for you all to learn from somebody with experience, somebody who's seasoned sort of in the online space. He's done a lot of different things. I'm actually excited to learn more. It's cool for me to be on these to learn from somebody like Mitch, who's going to be on here in just a second, to hear not only his story, but he's got real world experience that I believe I'm going to learn from too. So this is one that you're really going to want to tune into and focus in on because he's just seen a lot, right? He's done a lot. He's experienced a lot, and there's wisdom in that. So Mitch, let me bring you on here, man. How's it going?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, we're pumped to have you.
Thanks for joining us from the future with your virtual reality this morning, and now back in the present world with the rest of us here.
I thought about coming on the live with my virtual reality headset on and just being like, I'm coming to you from the future. But yeah, no, I get a pretty good sweat in. It's crazy. I did a couple rounds of boxing, right? And you're standing there in a ring with a real dude and you're hitting him and he's got spit flying from his face and he's got blood just dripping down his eyes. It's a pretty wild experience, but yeah, it's not perfect, but I will say this, it is much better than I expected it to be. I expected it to be a little flop, but it was pretty impressive. But anyway, I came back 10 years and joined from the future, but okay, where are you from, man?
So I'm from, I'm originally from Virginia, but now I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. So East Coast. Yep.
Cool. Very nice. So let's kind of just give like a quick, where are you at today? You're now a full-time affiliate marketer transitioning out of some sort of drop shipping or e-commerce. Can you just paint the picture for one, what was sort of your first introduction to online marketing or digital marketing? When did you get started? How did you get started? And what's your journey been like up until now?
Yeah, so I think it started a while ago in my late 20s. I'm in my late 30s now, or heading towards my late 30s now. And I had the idea of becoming an entrepreneur. You know, I think like a lot of people struggling to get a great high paying 9 to 5 out of college initially. And so I started to learn about tech startups, and we have a little bit of a tech startup here in Raleigh. And so I went and I worked for a tech startup for like 5 years, and I sort of pretended to be an entrepreneur, but mostly I just got a paycheck. And some things happened that I didn't love while I was working there. And I started to, on the side, teach myself Facebook ads. Back in 2015, you could throw up a Facebook ad and you could recommend a product and you could get, you know, conversions for $4 or $5. So there was a lot of margins there. And of course, I started with a cell phone case store, you know, not the best store to start with, but it blew up. And I started doing like hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. And this was 2015. And then within 6 months, it kind of all went to shit. And so I found a buyer. I actually had a second store at that time where I had found another product, a wallet. And so I sold those businesses to someone. The wallet store is still up and running today. And then I kind of got out of it for a year, and I went and I worked for a digital marketing agency. The skills that I had picked up kind of learning Facebook ads and Google ads and all that other stuff from my initial dropshipping store, I went and I took to a digital marketing agency, and I worked there for a year. Hated it. Hated having 20 clients at once, trying to manage all their ad spend and all of them wanting results and expecting to make millions and, you know, all that stuff that goes in with that. Constantly meetings and reporting and reports. That's all I did. So I gave that up, and I was like, I'm doing the drop shipping thing again. And I got another store to go to kind of take off. And I've been doing that for the last 2 years. So along that kind of path, I've also spent a lot of money on courses and just all kinds of dumb stuff to sort of teach myself all of these different digital marketing skills, because I think all of it, out of everything I've had to learn, the marketing side, that's where I want to be, right? Driving traffic, creating, impressions and all that. So, but throughout this time, I've just always been drawn to affiliate marketing, the idea of being able to just do the part that I like, and not have to deal with all of this that goes on in the back end with my drop shipping store. It's just a nightmare of endless problems and things that I don't even think can happen, and they just pop up out of nowhere, and it's just endless. So, and then I think other things like knowing about the ClickFunnels car program and just seeing all those different things, that's always been kind of a goal to pursue that, right? I already do this. Now I can just go and promote products for another company versus my own. So I've always was drawn to that. Yep. And so after a while, I just kind of made the decision to sell my drop shipping store, and I started to learn about Legendary. I started to learn from some of the top affiliates on TikTok, and I was also researching this other thing that I had going on. And so I sort of made the shift, and I'm still in the process of selling my drop shipping store. It's taking forever. It should hopefully be sold this week, and I'll be able to move into affiliate marketing full time.
Wow, congrats on the sale. That's we tell people all the time that oh yeah, all good. We tell people all the time that you're sort of an online business could be sort of building like your own little piece of real estate, right? And like your sweat equity, your monetary equity, all of that equity sort of builds, and eventually someday to be able to sell it or exit out of it. But sometimes that's hard, or sometimes you can't find a buyer, right? How did you do that? How did you go about finding that?
Well, I've been fortunate enough. I think one of the things is I've been able to create brands. And I think anything that you're doing, it's good to create a brand, whether it's a content brand and you're promoting products as an affiliate, or if you're creating a brand to sell your own products, because a lot of people sell the same products as me, right? There's other stores out there that sell my products, but I started with a general store, and then I moved into more of a branded store. And that's always another, that's kind of the part that I love. I love to build a brand, to create that type of content and just having a brand. But the problem is having a quality product to go with that brand. So that's been a hard part. And if you have a quality product, you probably don't want to sell your store. But if you do, you can easily exit out of it with the quality product. and a process in place where an investor can just come in. They don't have to do a lot. For me, it's a little bit harder because, my product isn't great. It's got issues, but I sold it for probably significantly less than what it would. If I had everything right, if the process was perfect, the product was super high quality, customers were all happy, I would have made a 7-figure plus exit on this store. But because I don't, there's so much to fix that I didn't make that. But for me, it's enough to get out and to focus on what I want to do. So I'll take it.
Yeah, good. Congrats. I mean, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of toil. There's a lot of energy, money, all of that kind of stuff that gets spent in that whole process. And I know a lot of people who go through all that whole process with brick and mortar or online who never make it to that point. And I heard I think this is maybe a Warren Buffett idea or quote, when Warren Buffett said something like, he said something to the effect of, it's just important to know to have good timing on your exit as your entry. That's equally as important in anything really. But, he talks about it in the market and with stocks and stuff, but he also talks about it in businesses and like as part of being a good CEO or whatever is also knowing when it's the right time for you to get out. So cool. I mean, kudos to you. That's a cool move, and it's a good, it's a big accomplishment. So congrats. Appreciate it. When you moved, were there any really key pieces when you moved, let's say, to affiliate marketing that you were, there's big differences between doing an e-commerce store, a drop shipping store, something like that, and affiliate marketing or selling digital courses and digital products. What for you was like the big draw or the pull enough to have you sell your store and move full time to affiliate marketing?
Yeah, so I think I made the decision over the summer that I was going to try and sell my store and then slowly but surely move into affiliate marketing, right? I think everyone wants to move into affiliate marketing, and sometimes you want to go fast. But for me, affiliate marketing, and the reason that I was always drawn to drop shipping prior to affiliate marketing, is that it's kind of a slow grind at times. But the difference here was TikTok, I think. TikTok and obviously Legendary Marketer, and combining those two things together, I was able to kind of exceed what my expectations were. I mean, obviously I didn't even really have expectations. For me, once I hit on the story and the angle of, all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to tell people that I've done well with drop shipping, and then I'm going to tell them not to do, and then I'm going to tell them not to do it, because I know that the screenshots have had power with the Shopify screenshots over time on basically any platform, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. But then they sell you a drop shipping course. Then they sell you a $997 drop shipping course. And so my goal was to say, hey, don't do this, right? And so once I hit on that angle, I knew, and then it was just a matter of having a place to actually get my message out. And that was, that's TikTok. That's the opportunity that we all have with TikTok right now.
Yeah. I was, speaking of TikTok, good segue. I was just listening to a clip by Gary Vee the other day. Came through my YouTube or something.
Good guy.
And he was just talking about how he's like, going through brands that have built businesses on Facebook or whatever. And he kind of said, there's certain places on the internet where you can disproportionately get traffic is the word we would use, but he says attention. He calls it attention. We would call it traffic. Same thing at a disproportionate discount. So he's like, if you're going to grow a business, go to one of the sources that have a disproportionate discounted rate for the attention that you can get. Meaning, if you're doing organic traffic, meaning you can spend the least amount of time, but get the most amount of exposure. If you're doing paid traffic, you can spend the least amount of money for the most amount of clicks and traffic. So Facebook ads is still a good example of that, especially if you're able to, one, keep your account open, two, actually get some ads launched and get a little bit of data and begin to push those. There's some interesting things happening with pixels and privacy and all this kind of stuff.
Apple,
But
yeah, iOS, yeah.
yeah, but even still, there's likely going to be workarounds and things that happen anyway. Outside, there's always innovation,
Yeah.
and Facebook's big enough to figure that out. But I will say, TikTok, in terms of organic, is probably unlike anything that I've ever seen. Dave and I talk regularly about how, wow, man, can you imagine if we were on TikTok in 2012? Like, we would, I mean, it would just be nuts. And people always kind of view this online space as a space where, just a space where like the opportunity is decreasing or getting smaller. And it's mind blowing to me, because I complained in 2011 and 12 about how oversaturated it is, how you can't get traffic, how, there's too many people, and, on and on. And it's just been the total opposite that I've watched over 8 years, is nothing but opportunity on the internet increase every single day, every single month, every single year. It's crazy. But right now on TikTok, you're killing it. So what's your routine on TikTok look like? What's your sort of strategy? Do you have any secrets you could give us, or, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I came into it with, I guess, an angle in mind. Like I talked about, like I mentioned, having a story. And early on and until now, I always create my TikToks like I am talking to a brand new audience, because that is the value that we get with TikTok, in that every time it's not like you're on Facebook or Instagram talking about your aunt and uncle, talking to your aunt and uncle or whatever, trying to get your friends into your multi-level marketing thing. You are talking to a brand new audience and you're trying to draw them in. And so at least, my goal is to create 4 to 5 TikToks a day. That was my big thing. And I think for me, consistency has always been an issue. I think, like any entrepreneur, consistency, not following the shiny object syndrome. And so when I first came on, I was like, I'm just going to create 4 to 5 a day. And I didn't really have any expectations as far as how I was going to grow. When you post your first TikTok and you get 100 views, you're like, wow, that's a lot. And then you get 1,000, you're like, what? 1,000 people just watch this? And then, you get jaded after a time and you only want one to go viral or whatever. But initially, it's just posting consistently and trying to find the people that are like me on TikTok. So for me, I know that there are a lot of people out there, especially at that beginning stage, who are considering dropshipping, right? Because you see so many people teaching it and they show you these big screenshots. And so my goal was to talk to those people, to reach out to those people. And I think everyone, especially if you're teaching others to make money online as affiliate for Legendary, whatever you are, there's always a story that you have that you're going to be able to connect with. Everyone has a story with money. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has something they've been through, whether, you're 17 and you couldn't get a job and you're from COVID and all that. We've seen people have success with that. If you quit your high paying job, there's just endless stories, and everyone has that. And then so you don't need to get 1 million followers, 100,000 followers. You just need to get the people that are like you. And so that was what I set out to do. And then obviously you have to create engaging content, and you have to have that hook and that line offer and all that stuff. And you have to do what TikTok's good at, which is the sounds and the trends, the ones that work for you. Don't try to do certain dances if you can't do them, but do what works for you, do the sounds and trends that work for you. The thing that took off for me was the one random sound video that I did. It got over 2 million views. Wow. And I was already doing well before that, but this random video happened to take off for me. And I think that, then everyone else I wasn't the first one to do it. And I know 1 million people did it after me too. So that's just kind of a part of it. And then you use the other videos. As one of the top affiliates, Brian Brewer, talks about, you have to kind of mix that sizzle with the meat, right? You want to have the sizzle to draw people into your account. That's why we do the sounds and the trends and the stuff, the people do the side hustles. I don't do that, but a lot of people do the side hustles. And then you teach in the rest of your videos, because people will inevitably start to watch all your other videos.
Yep. Smart. That's smart. I like the meat with the sizzle. Makes me hungry. Um, so so it's really interesting. Because I think one thing that I was just scrolling quickly through your TikTok here. I have it open on my screen, but one thing that struck me as interesting is the way that you talk about you talk in normal terms, I think. I don't know how to explain that super well, but you talk in terms, or you use terms a lot of times, like in your headline or whatever, or your kind of thumbnail words that normal people would understand. One thing that that's just stand out to me right away, at least. A lot of times when people start talking about, you know, just really confusing terminology, like when people start talking about, like, do you want to be an affiliate marketer or whatever? Like, I think a lot of times people don't realize that the general public doesn't really have a clue what affiliate marketing is. They're like, well, what? No, I don't want to be an affiliate marketer. I don't even know what the definition of an affiliate marketer is, you idiot. Right? And I see it with certain videos that will go off or go really viral. They use more commonly accepted terms out in the marketplace. And this is marketing 101. It's use the terminology that people already understand and use. Don't use insider language. If you use insider language, people usually don't understand what the hell you're talking about. But if you use words like for instance, right now, a big term of it is side hustle or side gig, right? How do I, and not saying that you have to create, you said you don't make the side hustle videos. You don't have to create the side hustle videos. But when you're talking about, you're spelling out sort of your journey and stuff, right? Well, introduce the idea of, I do affiliate marketing, or when you're telling your story about affiliate marketing, you could say that, but you could also say, I found this like side hustle thing that I do online, and it's this concept called affiliate marketing. And when you introduce it as a side hustle, people have an idea to connect it to. It's the same with, back in the day, people used to say, in the M world, network marketing world, people used to say, how do I describe what I do to my friends? Like, they all think I'm a scammer, which some of them were, but they would be described in terms of like Amazon's affiliate program, right? So Amazon's affiliate program is really easy to understand. Yeah, you go to this website on Amazon, you sign up, and you send a special link to an Amazon product. You put it on your blog or whatever, and you make a commission. And once people start to understand its normal terminology, it's like a understood terminology, it helps them sort of connect the dots and feel less foreign. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in general, anything that I've learned over the years, anytime you start talking to a larger audience of people, you have to, dial it back a notch. And that's just in general. When the presidents, or when people who are talking to millions write speeches, they write them at a 4th grade reading level. And it's not because everyone is dumb, but you want to talk to the masses. You want everyone to understand the message, and you don't want there to be this miscommunication, because when there's a miscommunication, everything is lost. And so on TikTok, you're talking to primarily new people. So I never try to create my videos as if everyone's watched all my previous videos. And then they're like, oh, so now they're up to this point. Like, in my last video, I talked about this, and today it just doesn't work like that. That's kind of a YouTube thing, right? That's where I think you take over to YouTube and you teach the extra stuff. And then you can use your phrases like LTV and CTR and all that, all those acronyms that make people tune out. But
so you have your TikTok going. You also have a YouTube?
Yep, I do have a YouTube channel. I've just started getting that going. I posted a bunch of videos yesterday, but
cool.
Working on that as well.
Cool.
But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, you have to, not many people, when you have a large audience like TikTok and this big platform, most people aren't going to know what affiliate marketing is. They're going to connect it to multi-level marketing or a pyramid scheme, or everyone has negative connotations initially to anything that they're exposed to when it's brand new. And so once you get in past that hurdle, you're like, look, it's just promoting products for a company, and they pay you a commission if you get a sale. That's it. That's all it is. There's obviously a lot to make it work, but by definition, it's very simple. And for me, it just, that part of it being not real or whatever is something I've had to kind of understand, because working at a digital agency where we had major e-commerce brands, they all had affiliates, they all had affiliate programs. That's just what businesses do. It's a very low cost way to sell your product as a business. So it's as legit as they come. You know what I mean? It's like saying e-commerce isn't legit or something, but, or the internet, right? It's just the way things happen. So you have to get over that hurdle, and you have to explain it in, I think, simple terms.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. So how long ago did you start on TikTok?
So I posted my first TikTok October 23rd.
Okay. So
for kind of this, I had a few before, but there were nothing, just for fun.
So you're talking like 2.5 months, 47,000 followers.
Yep. It could be better though. Some people have surpassed me greatly.
Classic entrepreneur response there. Yeah, but it could be better. Well, I mean, that attitude that'll help a lot. It allows you to never really fully be satisfied and keep going. But how many are you posting a day?
So usually I try to post 4 to 5 times a day. That's been over the last couple of weeks with Christmas and everything, my kids being home. It was very sparse, but 4 to 5 times a day has always been my goal.
Interesting. Wow. That's a lot of, how do you get those ideas? Like, that's a lot of content.
You got to watch a lot of TikToks.
You sit on TikTok and watch a lot, right?
I tell my wife I'm doing research.
I know.
Yes and no. I think you find a pattern, you get a certain that are, some that are like this, then you find a couple easy sounds, you do some where you just do text, you do a couple where, you start to adjust to doing it.
Yep. Yeah. Wow.
Consistency has always been my hardest thing with anything. That's why affiliate marketing and dropshipping, where you set up your Facebook ads, you let it go, right? Then you're done. You can check in on them, but you can let it run kind of. But with this, you have to be consistent day after day and build that consistency muscle, as they say. And it just gets easier, anything, I guess.
If you were, okay, so let's play a little game. If you were to go back to beginning of October, and you're about to post your first video, what would current day Mitch tell October Mitch that you've learned that you wish you had done differently, or nothing? Nothing is cool too.
Yeah. I'm killing it. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't stop what you're doing.
I don't think I would change too much, honestly, because I think it's an iterative process. I think in order to get here today, I had to be there. But I also think for the first time ever in my attempts at gaining some type of following on social media, I actually had a hook. I actually came into it with an angle. I had a story. I was going to show off my screenshots. I had an award. I won an award one time for $1 million in revenue. But that's a total, it's revenue. It's not profit. So it's really meaningless to me. So
yeah,
I kind of had that angle going into it, and I sort of was ready. Other than, I can't really think of anything. I think you just have to go for it, and start posting and tell your story. The sooner you can start telling your story, maybe do more under 15-second videos. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
You just get, the way to grow your TikTok is to get the view time up, right? So people have to watch.
Yep.
The more people watch your video, the longer people watch your video, the more likely you are to get it to get more views. So that's kind of the key, is creating those perfect, I guess, 9 to 12-second videos where you give away enough information, but then they're also, interested. They got to watch it again or something to get all the information, or they want to go click on your bio or follow you or whatever.
Yeah. So initially create some really good 15-second content videos. You get a longer view percentage of people who watch a majority of your video. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Cool. I love it. We've just got a lot of people who watch these, who tune into these, who are trying to grow TikTok channels in lots of different industries, who are trying to get their voice, their message out. And it's always interesting to hear what people would do differently if they were starting over. Yeah, I feel like this is it's this show sometimes, our wake up show becomes a revolving door of people who are just simple, like they're not doing anything extraordinary. They're doing something, well, it is extraordinary to do
No, I got what you're saying.
To have consistency. That actually is extraordinary. But they're doing something simple, and they're doing it over and over and over again, and they're taking advantage of the cheapest attention on the internet, which is TikTok right now, hands down. There's no doubt about that. It's honestly the reason that I like it, the reason that I think that's a cool thing that this show is becoming, that is because it's becoming a little bit undeniable to people. And sometimes when you get people who are doing, and we've got people who are doing blogging, Chris Fong's doing blog, lots of people are doing blogging, lots of people are doing YouTube. Yep, Spencer has an amazing blog. There's a lot of people who are doing different things. The reason that I like so many people have come through and are killing it on TikTok is because I feel like now it's becoming an undeniable testimonial of where to get just an ungodly amount of free traffic, just an absolutely unimaginable amount of free traffic in ways that people have, for the past 15 years, especially in sort of the sort of the freelance digital marketing, doing affiliate marketing or courses, have only dreamed of.
Yeah, and to come from dropshipping, where it's just an utter nightmare and the costs are going up, and through election season, Facebook ad costs are crazy, and then Christmas, and it's just a mess. And so you're trying everywhere to get traffic. And you talked about simplifying, and that for me is like, even when I'm having good days with my dropshipping store, I can't figure out what the hell my profits are. There's all kinds of charges coming out. There's just endless stuff. And so to be able to simplify it down to one major traffic source, one funnel, some software pieces, a couple $100 a month, whatever, that's nothing when you're trying to run, a drop shipping store. Just every move you make within your own online business as e-commerce, there's more costs involved, I guess. And so to be able to simplify it and to focus on TikTok, and then obviously that's not going to last forever. So you have to build from there. You have to build out your YouTube, which is going to go slow. You obviously want to keep your email list engaged. You want to look for other channels. But when you get ahead of one channel, you're able, that's what Gary Vee does, right? As soon as Twitter came out with that thing called fleets, a month ago, I literally woke up. I was like, oh, fleets are out. I never even heard of this. Gary Vee already had one up. I'm like, what the hell, man? Because that's what he does. He is, like you talked about, I think he says attention is the asset. So as soon as something new comes out, whether it's Instagram Reels or something dumb on Twitter, he's all over it. And so he's built up a massive following, but he continues to stick to his original game plan of how he builds his organic following. Another person who is super elite at building an organic following, this is going to be weird, but Lil Nas X built his entire brand around, he created what he does, and he still does it. If you see him on TikTok, he just brought it over to TikTok. But his first song, that, the rodeo song, that wasn't big. He put it into meme after meme after meme on, video memes, and put them all over the internet until eventually it took off. And he still does it. He's won a Grammy. He's got millions of, followers and dollars, and he's still creating weird ass TikToks, the memes, to get his next song out there, because he knows the process works and he continues to do it over and over again. So attention is that asset, and people are using it to their advantage in unique ways.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man, his story is a great one. His story is incredible. And it's just, yeah, it's a testament to hustle. And sometimes, sometimes there's talent. I will admit that.
Well, definitely, and for sure.
But other times there's just pure grit that will get you to the talent level of, there's you can look in just a total. You could take a poll of NFL, NBA, all of these like major sports, every single major sport, and see people who have the infinite talent level, just talented at just ridiculous levels. And then you have kind of people who are a little bit more scrappy, and they just work their ass off, and it equals out sometimes. Sometimes the talent wins. Sometimes you have talented people who work their ass off as hard as anyone else, and that's when you have a Michael Jordan or a LeBron James or whatever.
Chase Young.
There you go. Yeah, that guy's he's
ridiculous.
He's like a defensive end, right?
Yep. He's crazy, and I'm a Washington fan. We've been horrible for 30 years. We just cut our quarterback, immense talent, but he just didn't get it, right? He just didn't understand what it took to play at that highest level. And I think that's a part of it. And obviously you can have the talent and not make it. You can not have talent and make it. But so much of it is up to you, especially now. Obviously we're not pro athletes. Would have been cool if I was, but I'm not. You are maybe in the virtual. Maybe you'll get to fight Logan Paul next. Maybe you'll get Logan Paul
in the virtual boxing arena.
Maybe you can get Logan Paul.
I'm there for it, man. I'm only 5'6", and that guy is huge.
He is huge. He is. Oh man. But yeah, so I think it's. But now, in with business, we have the internet, right? That's kind of that's what our level playing field is. There's a lot of other things going against our generation as far as the time we're born or whatever is going on politically. But at the same time, we have the internet, and that's the great equalizer. And that's kind of what Gary Vee and those other people talk about. And so it takes time to learn. It takes time to figure out what's going to work for you. But if you just do it, you just stick at it. For me, it has been, I think, and for most people who've tried this, it's been an up and down rocky road. I have as many failed stories as I do successful ones. And I'm not particularly special or anything. Like you said, I'm just refusing to not make this happen. This is how I'm going to earn my money. This is what I'm going to do. So I have to make it work. It's just like any business, I guess.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't have to, rent a big office space or retail space and hire 1,000 employees and take on all this risk. That's another thing that kind of drew me into affiliate marketing, because I've always wanted to do this without the traditional way, coming from tech where they're raising millions of dollars, or, even e-commerce. I'm not against selling your own product, your own dropship, having your own business, but you need to, and you can even dropship good products if you figure that model out, but you need to make sure you invest the money into having a quality product so that your customer is happy, so that you can build that long-term brand and that long-term value. And so if you can't do that, then you should do affiliate marketing, because, someone like Legendary Marketer, you guys have already established a great quality product. It's proven, from both ways, from as a customer or an affiliate. And so, for that reason, it made sense for me to get over to affiliate marketing and try to take advantage of all these other skills I've learned the hard way, the long hard way, I guess.
Yeah. It's so low risk. It's so low risk, especially in the grand scheme of when you actually, and I feel like you understand this well, when you get into real business, like the reality of for instance, we sell our business blueprints, we sell for $2,500, right? And a lot of times, and I'm not trying to be non-empathetic or be an asshole here, but a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, like this is my, this is such a massive investment. This is such like a huge, and sure, yeah, it's a big decision. It's not no money. It's $2,500.
Right.
I understand that. I've been in the place where that was, everything I had to my name. I understand it. But in the grand scheme, right, when you begin to think really large scale, it's not a $250,000 or $500,000 investment in a restaurant that at the snap of a finger, Gavin Newsom might shut down in Los Angeles, or Bill de Blasio might shut down in New York City, and you're doing outdoor dining when it's 15 degrees, below zero outside with a wind chill, and you're trying to serve customers with outdoor dining, and you've got $500,000 loan and rent that you have to have paid. That's $6,000 a month or whatever, right? It's actually pretty low risk to do something. Not saying it's going to be easy, but it's pretty low risk in the grand scheme of all business. Even restaurants, that's a smaller venture in the grand scheme of $100 million businesses, or, whatever. So I just think, you made a good point. Affiliate marketing's super low risk. It's also a great place to sort of like wet your whistle a little bit with the digital space. You can run ads, you can run Facebook ads, you can try posting content. It's just such a great entry level, low risk thing to sort of try out, feel out, see if you like it. And at the end of the day, I mean, I think back, I got 25 grand in debt trying to buy different, I don't know, business opportunities, or I was trying different marketing and trying all sorts of different stuff for the last, I don't know, 2011 to 2015, 16. I just think in the grand scheme, it's just such a, I want to say easy. It's not easy, but it's such a low risk, massive high reward, kind of a low, what would you say? A high floor and a high ceiling. High ceiling, low floor.
I mean, there's a high floor and there's really no ceiling, right?
No ceiling. There you go.
Your floor is zero, I think. And if you don't start off with paid ads, and I think anyone who goes into affiliate marketing probably shouldn't start off with paid ads unless you have experience with paid ads and you know what you're getting into and you know how to warm up your account and do all the things you need to do so you don't get banned. But I mean, I say this when I do live on TikTok. I'm like, look, the worst case is you have $0 days where you don't make anything. But unlike my dropshipping store, there's not going to be days where I lose hundreds or thousands. And if you're doing like trading or Forex or day trading or any of that stuff, you're going to have days where you lose. So even if you're profitable 5-6 days before that, you could have one day that kind of wipes all that out. And people don't get that when I show off, people don't understand that when I show off those screenshots from dropshipping that like, look, there's been whole months where I'm losing money, right? October and September were horrible because of how expensive everything was. People don't buy as much in October, but they click a ton, all that goes into that. So this is one of the few ways where you can get started with the business, you can learn for $7. And so you talk about spending thousands on courses. I've spent so much money on courses, and the value or the cost doesn't always equal the value. You can spend $5,000 on a course and get the same amount of information as maybe $100 or even $7. There are, the person decides how much to charge you for their course. And so there's obviously great ones. And I think over time, all that knowledge is kind of added up for me. But if I could have just learned from Legendary without having to take the path that I've taken, that probably would have been a lot easier to learn, and maybe some other stuff. But ultimately, that's just a part of it, and you just have to get through it, I guess. I don't know, but we're in a better spot now. I think having the opportunities that we have in front of us now.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to sort of put a cap on the whole conversation. I think, you've got, it's amazing to me with where you're at and how well I know you're doing that. You are literally just scratching the surface of what's possible. So I'm excited to see where that goes. And we'll definitely have you back on if you're open to it. We'll send you an email.
Anytime.
60 days, 90 days. And we just like to catch up with people and kind of, it's always fun for our audience too, to just see how people are progressing and what they've learned. It's at some point, maybe down the road, we'll start charging for these. We probably should, but regardless, it doesn't really make a difference for us. It's like, this is just a cool way for us to serve our community and get to know you. Like I'd never met you. I'd seen your name all over, and I'm glad we got to meet today. And we'll have Dave host the next one that you're on in 90 days so he can meet you or whatever. And thanks for being part of our community. Thanks for sharing and kind of giving your feedback and your 2 cents on everything today. And congrats again on the store selling. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks. And I think I enjoyed obviously being on today, but just being in the community. There's a lot of communities, especially in the marketing space, that seem fake and phony and or they're a little too, a little culty. But for me, I just think Legendary is just, everything's kind of honest and open, and it's on the homepage of the website when we talk about being ethical, but it's really true. And that's why I enjoy being a part of it and contributing however I can.
Cool. Well, we love having you in our community. So I'll let you go. Get back to posting your TikTok videos and closing out that sale.
Oh, man.
And hey, also congrats on the Washington football team making the playoffs. I heard you were You said you were Washington.
Yeah. 7-9, but we're in there. So
hey, it does not matter. It's all good. It doesn't matter how you get in. It's just that you're in, man. So
yeah,
awesome. Well, congrats, and I
appreciate it.
It's been a good week for you. Selling the store, got the football team in the playoffs.
We'll see. Yeah, that sale has to go through. I'm not crossing. Yeah. I'm not counting my chickens until it's finally done, but it looks like it'll be done this week. So we'll see.
Cool. Well, congrats again. Have a good one. We'll see you on here again in a couple months.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
See ya. All right, guys. Dang, that guy was awesome, huh? Hopefully you guys are off to a good week and having a good 2021 so far. We'll be back here again tomorrow, same time, same place, same everything. If you don't already get text message reminders from us, you can text 813-296-8553. The number is on the screen there. Or it was. Hang on. There we go. Right here. There we go. And you can get a text every time we go live. We send that out just a minute or two right before we go live. So that's all we got for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you then.